Oh man, y'all, you can't make this up. What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit the like button on the video. Y'all hit the subscribe button as well. I got to get them likes up. But thank y'all that's been rocking with me all the way through and through. I'm going to put my Cash App in the description box below for whoever wants to donate to the channel. Whenever you feel like it, you can put it. You can just send it to the Cash App. I'm going to put the Cash App in the description box below. But let's get to the video. So, DaBaby. So DaBaby done been on a lot of different radio shows. He been going on like a press run, trying to do damage control for, you know, what has happened to his career over the past year and a half, right? When he was at Rolling Loud, you know, people feel like it started at Rolling Loud. When he went up there on stage and basically was like, if you ain't got none of them diseases where you can't die, one of them AIDS or nothing with them diseases where you would die. If you ain't got nothing like that, them diseases like AIDS or something like that, put your hands, scream in the air and all that type of stuff, right? And people felt like since that moment, and he also said something about if you ain't sucking DICK in a parking lot, put your hand, scream or yell, put your hands in the air, something wild like that or whatever, right? But people try to pinpoint that moment to the point where DaBaby's career has went on a deep decrease, like a sharp decline. And so now DaBaby is on all these different radio shows and podcasts, trying to come across from a different angle, trying to be more, I guess, relatable in some ways. Certain platforms he's doing it, trying to be more, I guess, empathetic and come across as an average, everyday guy in a certain type of sense. And he's trying to really do damage control to make a comeback because he's seen a sharp decline in revenue and ticket sales and album sales and all that, music streams and so on and so forth. And he's wondering why. A lot of people try to say, you know what, the industry is blackballing DaBaby, right? They saw DaBaby and they want to get him up out of here because of what he said about the LGBTQ community, and it's wrong for them to do that. It's a shame. No, fam, this man is not being blackballed. His fans are just tired of him. Right? The fans that he thought he had, they tired of dude, right? Let's be real, man. Like, he had a lot of he can rap for sure, but a lot of his biggest hits were like non-traditional hits within hip hop. They could also be placed within the pop category, like the songs like Bop. I needed some shit with some bop in it, all of that. All these different little all these different dance groups like the Jabbawockeez and all of that, they were all dancing to it, and it was like crossover appeal to different like demographics of people. So when you go and like have crossover appeal into different demographics and so on and so forth outside of what a core hip hop fan base is, he didn't have a core hip hop fan base. His fan base was spilling into pop and stuff like that with the songs he was making, doing songs with girls like Dua Lipa. I don't know how you pronounce the woman's name. Dua Lipa. I don't know. Y'all tell me how to pronounce it, right? He getting all that type of look, you know, he getting that type of radio play, them type of looks. And his fans were comprised of people that were not core hip-hop fans. So the moment they peep your persona, they peep your arrogance, they peep the certain things you saying, they gonna be like, nah, we ain't rocking with dude, man. And they kept it moving. And there's nobody to blame but him. DaBaby is the only one to blame for his decline that he's experiencing right now. He gotta look in the mirror and say, it's stuff that I did wrong, for real. He was overly arrogant. I'm talking about overly arrogant to a goddamn high point. Stuff like doing like a lot of corny shit he was doing to try to make himself look cool. And he the only one that thought that shit looked cool. He didn't realize how corny it looked. He had award shows telling the police, hey officer, if I don't win no award, I bet I fuck somebody bitch though. Like corny shit that a dude that didn't really get girls before he made music, that's some shit that he'd do when he get on and popping. Like, stop, like, all that. It was just, the police officer even looked at him like, bro, what the fuck? Like, Get that shit out of, get that lame stuff up out of here, bro. Police officers even looked at him like, come on, fam, really? This is what we on? You know, but again, walking around acting super tough, trying to be on Debo time with everybody, trying to really, really be Suge Knight after he dropped the song Suge, you know, and people in hip hop were impressed with the way he was knocking dudes out and whooping on dudes and quote unquote standing on business. People was all impressed with it, even the fans. Be geeking his head up, making him feel like he was invincible. He wanted to make that a part of his image. Don't play with me because I'll whoop your ass. I'll drag you here and there. I'll shoot you. He shot the boy in Walmart. He kept rapping about it. Like he loved to have that image. And then because he built that image in his head, he was going around swinging on everybody that even got close to him to try to keep that a part of his image and a part of his market, to increase his marketability, make him, make him seem more credible because he'll whoop on all these dudes around. He do start hitting women, swinging on any and everybody unnecessarily, doing a lot of silly shit that'll get you in trouble. And I said it in 2019, beginning of 2020, yeah, something like that. I was like, if he don't be careful, he's gonna find himself in a lot of bad situations that he ain't gonna be able to get out from, or it's gonna affect his career in some type of way. But all of that bravado, unnecessary bravado, acting like he tough Tony all the time, that shit wasn't a good look. Overly arrogant, overly cocky. Like, why would you go in front of a crowd? He in Miami, right? And talking about, no matter where you at, regardless. The man is out here on stage talking about if you ain't got one of them diseases where you would die, like them AIDS or something like that. Like, why would you say something like that, bro? At a big ass music festival, somebody in that crowd has HIV or AIDS. Somebody does, more than likely, right? So there's people in that crowd that have that disease, and they're like, damn, this dude really painting us as dirty people with the way he said it. You ain't got none of that. Put your hands in the air. Like, you painting them as dirty people. Like, they're like, why would I want to rock with dude? Why would I want to go and buy his music? Why would I want to go and support this dude continuously if he's labeling us as dirty and trying to like clown us? And everybody like, well, that's roll call. Nah, bro. You can do roll call in a whole nother way, man. And listen, man, if you out here, you ready to have a good time, you ready to, if you tired of your job and you ready to say, fuck them people at your job, put your hands in the air. Like, something like that. But to pinpoint if you ain't got AIDS, like, that's silly, bro. Like, that's not smart. That's real foolish. That's really dumb to do, for real. Like, and I ain't calling him dumb, but that situation was just not smart. He wasn't thinking when he did that. And then just, again, all the over the top antics and all the other corny stuff he doing. Kissing and telling, talking about Megan Thee Stallion. Even that was in an attempt to help sell that album, and it didn't help at all, and it's not helping with the music, with the ticket sales of the shows. Why is you out here kissing and telling as a grown-ass man with a whole lot of money, too? Like, why would you be out here doing that, bro? It's just not a good look in the first place. Like, bro, ain't nobody... Why are you trying to let the world know of your sexual exploits? That strikes me as a dude, and even though he held it for years, that still strikes me as a dude, cornball dude, who really just can't wait to tell the world who he's sleeping with. As if, like, that's dudes that didn't get a lot of girls did stuff like that, or just couldn't believe they got the girl. They would do corny stuff like that. Like, bro, cut it out. Like, that just is corny stuff. You feel me? Even with the situation with his baby moms. What's the girl name? What is her? Danny Lee. The situation with her. Just a whole lot of silly stuff dude got going on. Being overly arrogant. Overly, like, yeah, just obnoxiously arrogant. That's how he was walking around. Like, he'll whoop everybody's ass, and he's so tough, He was always trying to give off that bravado. Like, he had just swinging on his own artist one time and stuff. I seen, this is like back in April. I saw footage of him swinging on his artist, trying to whoop on his artist. And his artist looked like he was about to get with him. It was a big dude. Like, he about to get with him. And the baby wasn't anticipating that. I don't know if the baby thought the dude was soft or something. I don't know. But just doing a whole lot of wild stuff, bro. That's you. You dude out here self-sabotaging himself. He self-sabotaged and self-destructed plenty of times. And then try to look around like, oh my God, everybody else, his fan base trying to blame everybody else for the downfall. No, bro. For one, you know, you didn't have, like, I will say this, man. If you got a real strict, hardcore hip-hop fan base, you can do foul-handed stuff and they still ain't gonna cancel you. Look at R. Kelly. I mean, R. Kelly not hip-hop. But, like, I mean, it's a lot of artists that have done horrible, that have said horrible, arrogant stuff. Lil Wayne throwing was on Big Coon time, even though the baby ain't nowhere near as legendary or iconic as Lil Wayne, but I'm saying Wayne done been a coon on a lot of different times, and people still love and support him no matter what he does, right? There's been artists who've fallen off or said certain stuff people may not agree with or don't like, and they still be out here thriving and selling out shows and all of that because they have a strong hip hop following. You know, even Boosie, right? Boosie said stuff about Dwayne Wade's child and all of that, and people didn't agree with it. Some people didn't like what he said and all of that, and despite that, people still rocked out with him. Now you could say people will say, well, hip hop is a genre that does not embrace what's the word I'm looking for? Homosexuality. Hip hop does not embrace homosexuality, so that's why they rock with Boosie. But even outside of that, man, like you can do some wild, crazy, off the wall stuff. Even look, Gucci, Slim Duncan supposed to have been Gucci Man's, right? And Gucci sold his studio to the dude that killed Slim Duncan, and that's how the dude paid for his lawyer fees, right? People know about all of this, and still they rocking with Gucci. They still don't look at him as a flawed individual who did some real sucker stuff, which if Slim Duncan's supposed to be his man's, that's sucker stuff in general, even if Gucci need the money. Nah, you ain't selling that to the dude that killed your man's and helped him pay for some lawyer fees. That's clowned out. That's whack behavior, and Walker revealed that. But people still was rocking with Gucci. He was out there talking about everybody in the industry before when he was on them drugs, talking about everybody saying all type of wild, disrespectful stuff about Monica, which made Rocco want to pull up on him and all this and all of that. And people still was rocking with Gucci no matter what when he got out of jail because he had a strong hip-hop fan base. And a hip-hop fan base, they like your music and they love you as an artist and they believe in you and they buy into you genuinely. And if you have their support, they ain't going to break from you. The baby didn't have, even though he could rap, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have his fan base was not a hip-hop centered fan base. It was a fan base from people that was over there listening to pop music and all these other different crossover genres because songs like Bop gave him crossover appeal. And that same crowd that, you know, he was appealing to that was not a hip hop fan base, they heard that other shit he was saying. They're like, oh no, we off there, man. They ain't gonna stand and support you steadfast. They're not gonna be in lockstep with you and be steadfast and supporting you like sometimes the hip hop fan base would be. Even though I feel like hip hop fan bases support people to a fault at times because you can support Wayne, but they should have checked Wayne for that cool stuff he loves to do, act like racism didn't exist because Uncle Bob saved his life. Like, what the fuck? How just because he saved your life, hip hop don't matter? I mean, racism don't exist no more because you got your life saved by one white person and you want to negate all racism all across the board. I thought racism didn't exist when I seen all these different, I thought racism wasn't a thing anymore. Look at all these different people in all these different ethnicities in the crowd, which is some of the stupidest shit I can ever imagine Wayne saying, and people feel like he's intelligent. Just because you have different different ethnicities of people within your fan base does not mean that racism doesn't exist anymore. That's a highly unintelligent comment. That's like Michael Jordan, that's like LeBron James saying racism don't exist. I didn't think it existed anymore because people from different walks of life and ethnicities and cultures root for me. He'd be like, hell no, I'd be a dummy to think that racism don't exist. We see what's going on in the world today, right? But back to the subject at hand. Wayne said all that type of cool stuff and people still loved him and supported him. Even though I know the baby ain't in the same stratosphere as Wayne. But a lesser artist could have said those things and people still would have been rocking with him if they felt like they loved his music. They like the albums he put out. They like how he's packaged as an artist, so on and so forth. The baby losing his traction like this shows me that his fan base was not rooted in the hip hop community. His fan base was rooted in other communities with crossover appeal. To me, and even some of the people that he had that were hip hop fans, some of the hip hop some of the fans he had within the hip hop community. They honestly got tired of the repetitive flows. No difference in subject matter. Over similar type of beats a lot. And they're like, yo, we got to see something different. We got to see something different come from another angle. We got to see you do something outside of the box. Especially when he gets on Math Hoffa's podcast, My Expert Opinion, and says that when he can get off like Eminem. He can get off like Eminem. And for one, rappers got to stop using Eminem as the damn bar for like getting. Jigga is much better. Like, cut that shit out. Like, all right, Nas better than Eminem too. All right, man. Dude, that shit, that damn tavern music Eminem be making. My bum is on your lips. My bum is on your lips. Spitting on your onion rings. Like, hi kids, do you like violence? Do you want to see me stick 9-inch nails through each one of my eyelids? Like, no, fool. Stop using him as the bar. But anyway, he like, man, he can compete with J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar when he really want to rap. Well, if you can do that, brother, do that. Don't make the same repetitive, like you making the same songs over and over again. It sounds repetitive. All like your whole album sounds like one big song. Got to step outside of the box and do things different and give us more reflective type content, some more interesting content, more interesting music. But yeah, man, his downfall, that's on him, not on nobody else, not on the LGBTQ community. Not on not on fans being weak or cancel culture or the sensitivity of people. Nah, his ass, man. His ass was overly arrogant and doing way too much. And at times, man, the Most High can humble you and say, you know, out now, I hope the brother gets back on track and he learns from this error and this mistake. And he learns to humble himself and he get back to his dollars and his bread for his family, for his children, and for the people that he employs, for sure, right? But at the same time, look, brother, you was way too out of line with a lot of the stuff you was doing. Nobody was checking you, or when they was checking you, you wasn't hearing it. So now you got to see, all right, now's your time to hear it now. When you see certain stuff declining, you say, hold on, wait a second, I got to change this up. Now, I'm not rooting for the downfall of any black man. I'm not rooting or supporting his downfall. What I'm saying is you have to be aware. You have to be aware. You have to increase your awareness of and accountability for things like, oh, I could have did stuff better. I could have did stuff different. I was way too over the top, doing corny stuff to seem cool and to seem tough. That tough shit, man, it ain't about nothing. All that want to be tough stuff, bro, get the money, chill out. He kept saying he was about the money. He don't want no smoke. He ain't about the violence, but he was embracing that, the violent part. He was loving to show that. He got kicks and giggles, and he got a lot of kudos from that, from other rappers and entertainers, and he liked that. He got a lot of salutes and pats on the back from that. Even from the fans and these little silly-ass little girls that love tough-ass dudes and think that shit cute. Whatever. He thought that was like a notch on his belt, like, man, all right, I'm the man now. Now he's saying, bro, sit down, sit your ass down somewhere, relax. Keep making the music and chill out. Take it down some notches, man. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.